it's just hard because
Tell me your name first again.
my name is Lydell Jackson.
So Lydell, what is different in the lived experience for a black person in Lima than a white person?
Policing,
Yeah.
the way you can be profiled here.
Tell me what happened to you.
One night when I lived on Central, I had a migraine headache, and I had left my Advil in my truck, and I left my phone on the charger in the truck, and about 1 o'clock after I had went in the house, I had woke up and I still felt like I had a headache, so I decided to go outside to the truck and get my phone and my Advil. My phone wakes me up in the morning, plus my head was still hurting, so I went out to get it because I didn't have a home charger. And I went outside. My truck sits kind of high, as you were with me.
Yeah.
So I had to climb in the truck to get my phone and the Advil from the center console. And while I was in my truck, the police rode by. They rode by. They stopped. Parked behind the truck, which I'm still oblivious because at this point I was checking my phone for missed calls and messages, and as I'm doing that, I get my stuff and I'm getting out of the truck. By this time, they have gotten out of their car and start to walk around to the front of the truck. When I got to the front of when they got to the I'd say the rear bumper, I had already gotten out and proceeded to walk around the front. And as I walked around the front, one went onto the sidewalk and said, "Hey, excuse me, what's your name?" And I said, "Why? What happened?" He says, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's Lydell. What happened?" He said, "Do you have any ID?" I said, "It's in the house." He said, "So what's your whole name?" I said, "Are you going to tell me what's going on?" And then he said, asked me again, "Do you have identification?" I said, "It's in the house." He said, "Well," then he proceeded to say, "Well, no, don't go in the house." And by this time, I'm getting ready to take a step up on the steps, and he grabs my arm, and and he says, "What's your name?" And I said, "Sir, please don't grab me. That's assault." And when I said that, the other policeman said, "Lock him up. We don't have time to play with him." So then I'm proceeding to ask them, why are you, ask the question, "What do you want? What happened?" The officer said, "How do we know that you're not breaking into that truck?" With the keys in my hand and the keys still in my hand as I'm being cuffed, I chirped the alarm. I said, "You ask. That's how you know that I'm not breaking into my truck." And he says, "Well, this is a high crime area." And my thing is, this whole city's a high crime area, if you want to be technical about it. I had, at the time, there were only, I think, 8 neighbors on my street, so how high of a crime area could it be?
Yeah.
But I was arrested for failure to give personal information.
That's what's different. You don't think that wouldn't happen for a white person in Lima?
No, and when I went to court and talked to the judge, he said, "Well, you have to put on your policeman hat. It looks suspicious. Someone, this time of night." And then being in a car like that, you should have just told them who you were, and but that's not what we're, that's, to me, that was profiling at its worst, because at the end of the day, they have a job of observation, and if they had just took a second to look what I was wearing in 42 degrees outside, they would have known that I was not breaking into trucks. I was in basketball shorts and a hoodie, and flip-flops with no socks. So I'm not breaking into anything. And if he had took the time to ask me, "Hey, is that your car? Is this your vehicle?" I could have told him, "Yes, sir, it is," and then we could have went from there.
Right.
But instead, I was locked up.
Yeah. How much time were you in the jail?
Just they let me out. But the point is, it's like being abducted by aliens. You tell someone it happened to you, they don't want to believe it, unless they are, they've been abducted themselves.
Thank you.